Welcome to the Friendly Geordies podcast. I hope everyone has had a remarkable week. Thank you for your comments for the last one. There was a lot of comments.
Oh, really?
The comments section for the last episode, if you haven't seen it, it's the Fatima payment episode, was wild.
I want to see it.
Every opinion under the sun was there, and none of them liked it.
Really?
I don't think any of them listened to the pod. I think they saw the thumb of Fatima payment.
Yeah.
Like, here's my preloaded response.
Yeah.
Yeah, you'd
And
be
that all
surprised.
counts to us. So thank you for your contribution.
Is this on Patreon or YouTube?
This is on YouTube. I looked at Google
that's-
Analytics. They watched it for longer than they watched the other one.
Oh,
so.
shit.
We
Anyways,
still had those opinions.
we've got a packed show for you today as well.
Yeah, welcome
First-
TikTok. Hello out there, everyone on MSN. Diddling, 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 diddling. Go on live on MSN.
Can we get MSN live?
Is MSN still a thing?
If you have a time
I don't
machine.
know, but I will never get tired of that sound during a podcast with those headphones on.
Diddling, 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 diddling.
That'd be great.
I think you and me were the last people on that
Yeah, I think that's it.
platform service. Do
Can
you
we,
remember?
can we
Anyways.
please start with the first segment?
Sorry.
Very well.
Sorry.
The French election. Who has been paying
I
attention?
have seen it. I
Hell
seen
yeah,
it.
miss.
I seen it.
Chief political correspondent
what do you
back
think?
in action.
The commies. Oh, the commies. And in England too. Commies everywhere. I see commies. They're in.
We'll get to England.
It's a
after.
red wave.
It's
Well, I'll put it this way. I don't see the immigration halting.
I'll give for those of you that might not have been following it real
Tell you
quick.
what, better in Britain.
It'll be good for the
Background.
economy. Sorry.
Hey, just listen to this quick background, then you can continue.
Yeah.
So the French election, the way it works is it's a really weird and interesting concept.
I know. how it
Unless
works.
someone has a majority, they keep doing the elections. And so if there's a three-way battle, one of them has to drop out and the top two have to fight. Anyway, so what's happened is that initially there was the European Parliament elections, the far right, Marine Le Pen's party,
She resents that title.
won that. And then you'd like this. So Macron calls a snap election. You know why he calls a snap election, Jordan?
I know.
Why?
But pop quiz. I wanted to know if you know.
I guess I
He
reckon I
says,
Oh, wait. Come on. Let him do his spin. Go
know.
on.
He was being like, fine. If I'm not going to have a majority, then I'll put it to the population. I believe in democracy. Fine.
close, but not there.
I mean, that's what he publicly stated.
Oh, he
and he did pretty much say that. That was a great impression of Manuel Macron.
Yeah, the impression
and
was
you know
great,
French
yeah.
so well.
This is what he says, Jordan. I think you'd appreciate
And
this.
but you have to put this in as well. And so maybe you take it to the election.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly.
Why do they
exactly.
do that? Even the president does
I
that.
don't know.
So he says that the reason why you voted for Marine Le Pen is because you wanted to register a protest vote. Like Paul Keating, he says, I know none of you want them to actually run the government. You're scared that they're going to run the government. So this is what's going to happen. I'm calling an election. You want them? Bring them into parliament. Let's see. And I'm calling your bluff. He says you don't want them to run. Anyways,
Is
he
that
calls
really?
the
That's
election.
pretty ballsy.
Ballsy. Actually backfired. Anyways.
Now the commies you're in.
So the first round of elections. So the first round of elections is you vote for whoever you want, right? If you vote for Marine Le Pen, whatever. So everyone votes for their representatives. And it turns out that Marine Le Pen's Nationalist Front, the far right, won majority of the votes. Now, that seat wouldn't get registered unless there was about 50% of people that vote for one. So any seat in the first round of election, any seat that got 50% or more, that seat is now permanent. Whoever won it has won it. Anyone that had let's say 40% and then that has to happen again. So the next time around, the entire leftist coalition freaked out
Yeah.
and said that
Join forces.
it said join forces. And as a result, what happened was the Nationalist Front came in third. Second or
third. No, third.
First was this coalition of lefties. So this includes far left and center left. And then there were the moderates that came in second or third.
No, I think Le Pen came third.
Yeah, okay. So moderates came in second. So there's essentially four groups, actually five groups in the French politics. So you've got the far left, the commies. Then you've got the center left. Then you've got moderates that are Macron's party. Then you have center right, which are called Republican something, and then you have the far right Marine Le Pen. So usually,
I'm really resenting this very CNN talking point that they're far. It is annoying. I think she absolutely owned the CNN host because she's just used to talking to Republicans that are idiots, right? But this is what you understand about France. It's so much more sophisticated than America is, for instance. You know, like we were talking about that before, where you talk to conservatives in the UK and they'll be sitting there talking about Diogenes and which ancient Greek philosopher inspired you in politics and your governing methods. And they'll be doing that kind of stuff, right?
Yeah.
It's exactly the same thing when you go to France.
Yeah.
Like Le Pen, this needs to go on the record, first off. Gilf. Fucking hot.
I'm no objections on this side of the couch.
oh my God, there's obviously objections. You are insane. First of all, she is pretty right. It is true that she is less right than her father was, but that's because her father was a fascist.
Let's just take this out. Let's take out these labels for a second. She says, and I honestly do believe her when she says this, that her politics lies somewhere in between the Democrats and the Republicans of the US. And you saying that we're far right, you're using that phrase to make it sound like we're the Proud Boys.
Maybe economically it is. But I don't
This
think...
is what I'm saying. Like, everything in France is more measured. The thing is, Le Pen is not an idiot. She's not usually one of those wackos that you see like your Pauline Hansons and things. And I think that we put that on her. But I don't think that she is that. I think that she's like politics there is a lot more nuanced.
It is. Look, so I think the difference would... So
They're just smarter people. That every time I was watching this, I was just like, I wish I was French. You know? Really? They're just like, it's just so nice, like listening to, and she's not even getting mad at the CNN host, like trying to trigger her
saying
and stuff like that. And then
madame.
she just comes back being like, did you do this?
Why would she be mad? She has
She's hot. She has a hot accent. She's got my vote.
This is getting very troublesome, this entire thing.
I don't know, but like, you know, like everyone's always sitting there being like, Macron's like the Liberal Party. And it's like, why? And it's like, there's outrage and people are rioting in the streets. Why? Because he raised the retirement age by like 2 years.
They always
and then
riot
everyone's
there
just like,
too.
that's it, we have to have a second revolution.
They riot all the time. They riot
it's
when
insane.
dude, they rioted when the left won. They'd burn shit down.
I don't know why. It's just a pastime there. It's
They
just
just
like,
burn shit
like,
down
Why
there.
has this become like your culture ever since? Like, okay,
The
I guess
revolution.
it was cool in Napoleon
I
era.
think
Like,
that-
why did you keep that going?
I think that's why. They're just kind of like, yeah, it was
weird.
cool.
Hang on a minute.
Weird
Once
society.
again, let's say, first of all, Le Pen isn't like the Liberal Party. So Macron is like Malcolm Turnbull. He's like a moderate. He's a wet.
Yeah, but
as they
their
call them.
version of a wet is very different to our version of a wet.
No, it's
That's what I'm
very. It's
saying.
the moderate is very similar to Malcolm Turnbull because they also are looking to go for austerity measures. This is why I'm saying like
But their austerity measures aren't as austere as Britain. Like, Britain is just like, right, try to cut everything into social. Let's try NHS. No, that's suicide. Okay, we'll leave the NHS. Everything else is gone. Like, that's austerity in like the Anglosphere.
Well,
Still cut down the NHS a little bit. It's just 5%.
Yeah, okay, all right. We'll privatise the fuck out of it. Okay, you've compromised. This is the wet faction that is in charge. The adults are at the table.
But that's not what Le Pen wants, though. Le Pen isn't for extreme austerity. Le Pen,
That's what I'm
because
saying.
she is a populist, so she also caters for the populist positions of, like, you know, the conservative white old man of France, which
know, but,
is
like, I
don't
think-
get rid of the pensions and stuff.
I know, exactly. So I'm saying that when we say, like, she's far right, like, we are trying to invoke the image that she is like the Tea Party in America.
She's socially very right. Economically, you might be right, but that's because like she lives in the constraints of French economy. The French economy isn't the American economy. The
Yeah,
American economy
yeah.
is already so far right.
But like,
Yeah.
regardless of the parameters are different. That's what I'm saying. Like the
Economic parameters are different.
The image that you have in your head of what she is doesn't exist in France. That's what I'm
Maybe
saying.
not economically, which is why, in fact, like when the nationalist rally, when Le Pen won the first round, the stock market actually went up. So
Really?
it seems like the business community in France
Right.
is okay with her, and the stock market was facing some issues when it became clear that the leftists might come into power.
Because, dude,
But then they also
there
like
is
the Hong
legitimate. Think about this though. Like, there is legitimate communist parties in France. If I was part of the business community, I'd be upset too. I would start easing off on investment.
Canary.
Yeah, but like the business community
islands,
doesn't want the communists for obvious reasons,
Yeah.
but they also don't want Le Pen.
Yeah.
The reason why they don't want Le Pen is the whole issue in French economy at the moment is that if you are on the left or if you're on the far right, then you want to expand the fiscal budget. So you want to actually spend more money. So you want people to have more pensions. You want they want to actually adjust wages on inflation. The problem is that France isn't making as much money. So the moderates are all talking about austerity. Like, not only should we shouldn't increase this stuff, but we should dramatically reduce it. And that's what the business community is for. The problem is the only parties that are willing to do it are in the center. So if you go far left, they want to expand it. And if you want to go far right, Le Pen, they want to expand it too. So the business community actually wants the center. The reason why they were happy when Le Pen was winning was because that the left isn't winning, so they don't want anyone to have absolute majority. They either want a hung parliament, in a sense, so that no reformist gets passed, and nothing. And so whatever the way things are in motion, stay in motion.
Yep.
Right. And for them, both those sides are bad. And anyways, the problem was that historically, the moderates used to be in a position where either they would side with the center left or they would side with the center right, which has been wiped out in this election. So the center right doesn't exist anymore. So it's either far right, center, center left, and then some far left. The left coalition that's won has formed a coalition with far left communists as well, which are not acceptable to the mainstream. So which is why you're in a situation where no one has been able to form government. So you're in a hung parliament. The only way out of it is if the moderates, Macron's faction, teams up with the left faction, and together they run a majority government. It seems like both of them they don't want to do that because the moderates don't want far left, because once the far left comes, they'll talk about expanding the fiscal budget. And they also don't want the far right for similar reasons. They're fighting against each other, which means it's a hung parliament. So there's essentially three possibilities. One possibility is that they bring a technocratic government. A government that is bipartisan, that is not politically affiliated, that's just there to keep the economy and the wheels of the government rolling. And particularly the Paris Olympics are coming soon. And so they need a stable government for that.
But I thought, but they have, it's just going to, I thought it was a stable. It's just like a bunch of minor parties have come together and been like, we'll all compromise.
You have to form government. So there's that one option of the technocratic government, which apparently Italy has had a lot of history with. France hasn't had a lot of history with. Then the second option is that the left coalition forms a minority government. The minority government essentially means that the entire wheels of the parliament are going to stand still because they're going to be able to pass nothing. The third option is that the moderates and the center left form a coalition, but that would entail center left getting rid of the far left from their, which is going to be hard to do because they've won their victory based on the far left support.
So
it's a weird conundrum. It's
politics it's not child's play.
That's what I'm
Did
saying.
you know that?
France's system, look, it really feels like you can't do anything in it. It feels like it's even more stymied than the American system.
Really? Fucking hell.
And I think that's probably the reason that you have this, and they kind of just got stuck with, I suppose, 50s politics, which is just to have like a really large social service and social network state, and it has become untenable in the modern age. And so you're kind of just like, I think you're kind of just stuck. I understand like the
But that's
problems
mitigated by their weird concept of not only letting majorities win. That allows them space to be able to get a government that has some level of power. Because you essentially keep running for elections until someone that has a full majority wins.
That's pretty crazy, yeah.
It's crazy. But
and that's not happened this time.
Well, it did. They tried, which is why there was two elections. One that was won by Le Pen, and then one was the far left. But it's still like the problem is that if you're talking about one force by itself that is the strongest, it seems like Le Pen's far right is that. It probably has support of maybe 20 to 30% of France. But having said that, they're not enough to form a majority on their own. but the coalition that doesn't like them and doesn't want them to be in power are in the majority. But the majority doesn't believe in one thing. They all have their different reps. So it's just total anarchy. It's just.
I thought you'd be happy as though.
No, because because they're not going to be able to run anything.
I reckon they'll just come to consensus. They'll be like, you know, I don't know. Like the one side will just be like free Palestine. The other one will be like free this side of Gaza. Like, yeah, sweet, you know, just shake on that.
Maybe, hopefully, I think they have time until September to resolve this, because in September they'll have to pass the budget, and if there's no resolution by September, that means that all bureaucrats and public servants don't get paid. It's kind of like the American way of like shutting down the.
Dude, they'll make it work. They'll make it work.
It's hard. They all hate each other.
You have faith in the French people.
I mean, like, you know, they all like to bicker and everything, and be like, yeah, but at the end of the day, like, if they're not getting paid, they'll be like, oh my goodness. Even the commies will compromise.
I feel like a bit of a wanker. I've always thought of the French in that real British way of like, they think they're so good with their shoes. You know, like,
yeah.
You know, I always just see that it was just like, screw those guys.
Yeah.
Pudding, you know.
Yeah,
like,
pudding, yeah.
But I don't know, man.
Creme caramel.
I am getting to like my wanker mid-30s where you sit there and like, oh, those cottages, you know, like I like the
I was there the whole time, dude.
I know. I've joined the club. Finally.
It's very nice.
Oh, isn't it?
But
and it's extremely rich.
But to your initial point about like Marine Le Pen not being that bad, it is true that she has reformed her platform a fair bit since her father's generation. Because her father was straight up like, I know you hate the term, but a fascist. But he was.
Was he the guy with the pirate patch?
I think so.
I don't know.
That was sick because there was some politician. I think it was him. Now, I don't want to get all these comments online. But, no, idiot. It was Marseille Le Coup, not Marseille Le Con.
Save that for the UFO chat.
Yeah. I'll be there.
I'll look it up.
I will always be there. But how good is this? There was some guy with a patch, and his whole thing for years was like, I lost this defending this country in the Second World War.
But he didn't, did he?
You know what the reality was?
He fell over.
He banged his eye on a desk corner.
But was it during World War II? That's the question. Was it?
Yeah, I think so. I think so, like half.
He was in service.
And I think he was in service.
He was serving his country. So
he was, yeah. I think he was a defense attorney.
It's not Jean Le Pen.
Defending the country. Huh?
It's not Jean Le Pen. It was Scholes.
Oh, how the fuck do you know who that is?
Scholes.
How do you?
Well, that's amazing.
And there's that American guy for some reason too down the bottom, just being like, "I'm cool too."
It's the style of this
Anyone
town.
thought of you?
That's her father, by the way. He looks like he needs a face mask, not just an eye patch. He's a very ugly.
He's still
man.
alive.
James.
Oh, he's dead. He's dead.
Yeah, he must be surely.
No, look, they'll make.
The point is, the entire Le Pen family is hot. Changed my mind.
They'll make it work. France is golden.
They are so not hot. Like, they are remarkably ugly people.
You think?
Yes.
I reckon
All right,
she's
miss,
all right.
we're going to the adjudicator.
Yeah, I reckon she's. You know, couple of Cosmos, and I'd talk to her. I'd be like, "Go on, tell me about."
I'm sick of this. I'm sick of this. Everyone just be like, "She's ugly." Why? Because she's 60. It's like, yes, but for a 60-year-old, we have to.
I will pay that. She's a 60.
Look, she's a very old woman. It's like
You,
very
sir,
old.
She's
sailor eyes.
She is doing very well for her age. Very well indeed, if I may say so.
As an 80-year-old.
However
so
old
her
she
dad,
is.
That picture of him being 90. Very handsome.
No, don't start Googling stuff. Take it back. Take it back.
But I want to look at other female politicians.
That's your Achilles heel. Looking at your Achilles heel is looking at like aging women being like, I think they're still hot. That's your
that is
Achilles
it.
heel.
Yeah, I'm always in on that
Anyone
conversation.
that's on TV for Jordan is just like
It is a weird quirk, but you know, it's an interesting one. Like I do appreciate the inputs. It's like I've never thought about it, but yeah, why not? Not too bad.
Good.
Cuts.
Well, that's why you come to this podcast.
Exactly, to
Expand
learn.
your mind. Yeah.
Seriously,
Think
I
about
learned a
things
lot.
you never thought about.
So
All
yeah,
right,
so the
it's-
commie wave started there and went all the way to the English Isles, didn't it?
I mean, look, in a nutshell, I'm happy about the centre left winning, but they're not going to be able to achieve much because they haven't won a majority by any means.
Nah, my
It's just
prediction
a
is they'll be the
long-
most functional government on earth. That's my lock of the week. So
Moving on, let's move
I'm
to
not
the
joking. I'm serious.
Let's move to the second segment. And Jordan, you have to not only convince me, which you've been doing for the last week,
Oh.
you have to convince the audience as to why
This.
you think Joe Biden is still the right choice.
Guys, I can do it in one. If Joe Biden loses the nominee, then I lose a lot, and I need to stress this, a lot of money on sports betting. So it has to stay. I can't. The odds were 9-1. You can't turn that down.
No, I thought you were going to give a more nuanced answer
I love
to
it.
that.
Jordan the Problem Gambler is the best side quest like life. I love it. I love it.
Again, like that's another thing to turn into 30. So from Nelson Muntz to Krusty the Clown,
Yes.
and then it's just like, I don't get it. You bet against the Harlem Globetrotters? I thought they were due. You know, like that's me now.
Having said, like,
Put it at
9-1
Silver, the silver.
are stupid, like, ratios. Like, Joe Biden has
didn't
a way
really-
better shot at winning than 9-1.
Dude,
Yeah,
you
dude.
didn't. I hope you didn't bet a lot because like
Huh?
I don't think that guy's winning.
It's a lot. It's a lot, my friend.
But you only don't think he's winning because all you're seeing is a bunch of bald-headed people that you don't know the name of, and that's fine. Neither do I. And I'm pretty sure no one that works at CNN knows who these people are. But they're just sitting there over and over again being like, he needs to resign. Why? Because this is what they say. Because people that I talk to on my phone say that he
I don't
needs
think
to
he needs
resign.
to. I'm not saying he needs to resign. I just wouldn't bet my savings on him winning.
Well, that's why you missed out on the gravy train that was silver in 2008.
It's
Because
my
you-
luck of the week. What's his name?
It's amazing.
Kramer.
I've never made a good investment, not once, ever. It's incredible.
It's really lucky that you
And you
have an
made me
eccentric
bet money on
personality.
this too, by the way.
Dude, it's just like
But
you have
why
an
do
eccentric-
you not think that he's going to be the nominee?
Well,
Well, why
look-
do you not think he's going to win?
He's going to be
First
the
of all,
nominee.
there's one thing that we're going to get crucified for this, but I genuinely believe that Joe Biden is genuinely your best chance of winning the presidency. Now, there could be someone else that comes in. They're not going to win. Either because they're Kamala Harris and no one likes them, or
Isn't that amazing?
it's
Hearing all the
someone
talking
who
points
no
about
one
that?
knows the name of. Like,
I don't-
name recognition and being famous, unfortunately, in this era, counts a lot to be the president.
Dude, I don't think anyone's saying that he should step down apart from the Republicans.
No, what are you
No,
talking
the
about?
Republicans want him to stay.
Yeah,
Really?
They think they've got a better chance under him. That's why Trump
Well, that's
came out.
very
and was saying,
silly.
Very sad. I don't want him to step down because he basically admitted that he lost the election in his ramblings.
What do you mean? Oh,
Because he was saying,
bullshit.
like, I don't want to see him step down and not get 2 terms. He would be very bummed if he didn't get 2 terms.
Are you serious? That's what he said about Biden.
Yeah. So he,
What a nice man. Very
Yeah.
nice man.
Of course, out of his
Did you see?
compassion.
Did
he
you see
decided-
there was some like video of Trump like on a golf course? Someone leaked talking about it. Dude, it was. Did you see that? It was
with
hilarious.
Barron on the side.
Someone
Yeah.
on the side. You saw that?
Yeah.
And he's just like, did you see that? Old guy, pathetic. I kicked his ass. What a fucking loser.
Yeah.
And then he's just like, and now they love Kamala. She's great, isn't she? Unbelievable. I'll wipe the floor with her. All right, see ya. It's just like, fuck, bro.
Isn't that amazing?
It is
He's been
kind
on-
of-
ever since the debate, he's been on a 9-day golf course. That's what he's done.
It is kind of a little bit jarring to see. I bounce between like being like, he's a real human being. He just talks like a normal, like a plumber, to being like, a president shouldn't call his candidate a fucking loser.
Hey, you also shouldn't be dropping the F-bomb every second sentence on a podcast.
Which platform aren't we allowed to do that on? All of them?
Just none of them.
All of them, really.
Just control
Flippin'
yourself.
heck, man. Flippin' heck.
Okay, but
Damn, you're good at censoring, miss.
Thanks,
that was
man.
awesome.
Thanks.
Well done.
Hey, you
look,
pick stuff up in 34 years.
I genuinely think that Joe Biden has a way better chance than everyone is making it out to be.
Yeah, so do I.
And like you should take that bet.
I'm
now
just
it's
saying,
5-1.
I just
So the
don't-
golden era is over. But still,
That's
I don't
good.
think he has a 20% chance of winning the next
Absolutely
election.
not. He has like
No.
a 45. That's where I'd put him.
I'm
45% chance that he's winning.
I put him at 60%, and it is not blind gambler optimism that is motivating this at all.
Dude, if you got
But it seems-
if you
check the
got
numbers.
if you got the money, just go for it. It's fun in games. Just like 2-Up. I lose on 2-Up. You can lose on.
But I've heard media keeps reporting that Biden's donors have dried up.
What?
The Disney heiress has said not a single cent unless Biden drops out.
Yeah, but you know what Biden's response to that is? Good riddance. I'll just get more small donations. He was saying that the vast majority of donations that we get is 80% of them. See, this is the whole conspiracy. I'm sick of this
Wait.
conspiracy.
Do you know this? Because I don't trust him when he says that. That the vast
Why?
majority of his contributions. He's no Bernie Sanders. Relax, dude. You're backed by the corporates. Let's be real.
But he's like, I would not be surprised if in this day and age, because this is what you learn. Back in the day, yeah, big corporations were very good at financing politicians. You know what's way better at financing politicians now than a corporation that you have to go and wine and dine and golf and constantly bring them, hey, Jim, how are you? Happy birthday. That all the time. You know what's way easier than that? Sending out an email just being like, the Republicans want to ban abortion. You want to kill babies, don't you? And then like you just get $1 billion and just women
No
just
way.
be like, no. That's how it works.
Oh,
now.
Actually,
You
that,
send out emails.
that reminds me.
Sick.
If you want free media, make sure you sign up to Friendly Jordy's podcast Patreon page and help us.
Yeah.
Small donations.
where we fight the corporations
Yeah.
unless they're selling penis pills, and then we're very happy to talk about them then.
We like
That's
those
great.
kinds.
Or breast milk flavored water. What?
What?
Look, as long as it's perverted, we're happy with it.
Jesus. Yeah, we love it.
Yeah, you
We
weren't
love it.
there, were you? This
No,
was
I
one of
wasn't.
the rare occasions when Miss Love was sick.
Still healing. Hashtag influenza A. The A is for A+.
Look, here's the rundown, Ali. First off, no one's mentioning this. After the debate, not all independents, but independents started moving into Biden's camp immediately. This is something that Biden said that I was like, that's a really good point that no one's bringing up in this whole thing of like, he looked really old. This is what I'm saying. This is how much dumber America is than France, right? When you listen to Le Pen, she has measured, considered answers, policy answers. She is diplomatic. She's savvy. Then you go over to America and you listen to every pundit over and over again, and they're just like, oh, this is a catastrophe. He really lost the debate. Why? Because his throat was a bit raspy. It's like, what is this insane world that you live in? And like, all these like elite billionaires sitting there just being like, ooh, 81. Yuck.
It is strange.
Gavin Newsom's hotter. Like, what is this?
Well, most people don't know who
on?
Gavin Newsom is,
But
which
like-
is a big hurdle to become the president.
Yeah, but they want him, or they want Kamala Harris. And why? Because her hair's a little bouncier than Biden's?
Because
Like,
she
he can get Pantene.
apparently she can get women to vote. Allegedly,
She can't, but like...
It is a lot
there's
more
independents are moving
corporatized.
towards, but this is something else that he pointed out that I thought was a very good point. Why is Trump beating you at the moment? And he was like, I don't know, because I've been busy being the most successful president since Lyndon Johnson. And governing has been taking up my time. When we get closer to the campaign, I'll start campaigning, and then I'll just point out over and over again, guys, I might be old. This guy
It's funny you
fucked
mention-
a porn star on the night his son was getting born. You know, like...
Is that really what
Yes,
happens?
he did that, and it was amazing. Like in the thing, like it's the one Biden own in the debate where he's just like, Jack, Marls, you molest women on the street publicly. Like you fire people at the top of a hat. You've got no loyalty to anyone. You're a convicted felon. You fucked a porn star on the night that your son was being born.
Yeah.
And then it cuts to Trump, and then he just goes, I did not have sex with her on the night that... Everything else, he just like lets slip. It's fine. He doesn't even have a defense for it. He doesn't even have a defense.
That's amazing.
Like, there's just no way. And like, on top of this, the campaigning hasn't really started. At the moment, this is all just media gossip and everybody's getting their opinions from this. When you actually get into the nuts and the bolts of it, especially because every single time the Democrats have well overperformed the Republicans, ever since Trump, which was a freak accident anyway. That was just like, you were running two people, like everyone hated Hillary Clinton, and then there was people that loved Trump and hated Trump, right? So that guy's going to win. But when it comes to Joe Biden, dude, no one hates Joe Biden. I've never heard nicer criticisms ever when it's just Fox News alert over and over again, just being like, and then we've got the Biden countdown of how many days he's been alive.
I know.
That's it. That's all. Like they're just, and over, even the Fox News people are like, look, I like Joe Biden. He's a nice guy.
But-
Like, that is not a bad place to be.
I think that's actually a good thing that's happening for Biden. What Biden, I think, isn't realizing is, first of all, like, the reason why... Okay, let's start with this. The Hillary v. Trump election, really, really close. A lot closer than people think it was. Joe Biden v. Trump election, also very, very close. So if you think that the 2024 election is going to be a slam dunk for either side, you're wrong. It's also going to be a close one.
They never are,
The country is... Huh? What do you mean?
No election since the days of complete consolidation of media ownership, where you could have everyone saying that Reagan's awesome, and
Yeah,
by the
yeah,
way,
exactly.
just pretending that he didn't have dementia the whole time because it suited them. But now they pretend that Joe Biden
Yeah.
does, even though he doesn't.
That's actually a pretty good point.
Yeah,
You know,
so...
but now, ever since then, it's just been like this gridlock. So every election's close.
So every election is going to be close. So yeah, if you think like it's going to be a very easy ride for Trump, you're wrong. It could go either way, but it will be close nonetheless. The second thing, which I think people are not realizing and I think really matters, is Trump won 2016 just because he was so much more clickable. He had way more media attention than Hillary did. He's just a lot more entertaining. You know what's happened after the debate? I think for the first time, Joe Biden is more famous than Donald Trump.
Yeah.
There's more internet searches of Joe Biden.
Yeah.
There's just way more people talking about Joe Biden.
Yeah.
Which for these kind of
That's
popularity
that's
contests.
like gold, dude.
Third, for the first time in probably Donald Trump's entire history, he is not the underdog. He's always been the underdog.
That's true,
And he
too.
always gets support as a
Yeah.
protest vote. Kind
Yes.
of exactly like what Macron was saying.
That's true.
You get protest votes. No one wants you to be in power. People want you to be the boogeyman just to scare people in power.
Yeah.
So when it comes to polls, Trump might win. When it comes to general election, I think very much like the French election, when it came to the fact that Marine Le Pen was almost about to win, a rainbow coalition was formed, and they defeated him.
And the Democrats can push exactly the same buttons that they did in the midterms of abortion, democracy, abortion, democracy, abortion, democracy. They'll win. They'll win.
Yeah,
Because
yeah,
at the end of the
Moves
day,
over and over.
the question I think which a lot of voters will have is not whether
Which
Joe
they
Biden
both
is
are.
fit to be the president, but whether do you want Donald Trump, yes or no. So it
Yeah.
becomes a referendum
yeah, that's
of a
true.
man who is supposed to be the favorite. So everyone thinks he's going to win.
And Biden can get under his skin somehow. That's the thing. Like he can't zing him the same way, you know. So it's like it's not perfect, but I think he can take it. You know, he can beat him because he doesn't. Trump wasn't like it wasn't like the Hillary debate where he wasn't owning him, because even if he does own him, he's too kind of like whacked out to take it on. He's like, it doesn't really work.
Dude, Hillary's biggest problem was that everyone assumed that she was going to win.
Yeah,
Everyone
yeah,
just
exactly.
assumed it.
Yeah,
And that's a big problem to be. You're just
yeah.
way too big.
I hope he takes it. I think, it'll be close. That's my luck of the week. But
It will
I hope
be
he
close,
takes it. I
but
hope he
it's
takes it.
only close because there's only like 6 counties that these elections ever go down to, and they're just going to pump
Yeah.
all of their money into that, and
Okay.
so it won't be close in the campaign.
You mean like the popular vote? Like the way it works?
The
with
popular vote is
vote.
probably going to go for Joe Biden irrespective.
Yeah, but that's kind of irrelevant, right?
Yeah, the Electoral College might go for Donald Trump. But
'Cause
Jordan, here's like a question. If we think, like we've said, that Donald Trump, it's going to be very hard for him to win either way, why not give a fresh Democrat a chance?
It's too late, man.
Because this is my whole argument about it. I think that Joe Biden's right. I think that he has been an extremely effective president.
That's the
He's
one
been
thing.
a really
yeah.
good president.
I get that, but like the concern that these people have, which I don't think is a big concern personally, but the concern is that he's too old. Like, if he's too old, why not choose someone else at the convention and run a fresh face?
I think
It's
it's
like,
a.
dude, as much as
Trump.
we're
I think
always
it's a
sitting
bad
there and
idea
saying,
now.
"Oh, it doesn't really matter. They're a figurehead position." Yes and no. Yes and no. Like, you can still push great things with the gravity of the president's chair. You can push for these things, and really, like, think about it. What did Obama achieve in 8 years? He got Obamacare. Okay, like he made cheap healthcare, I guess. He did one thing really. Like he also invested a lot in renewables.
Well, he didn't make
but
cheap
nowhere near as
healthcare.
much.
He subsidized expensive healthcare, which is not the same.
Cheap healthcare.
Subsidized. Someone has to pay for it. The government is paying for it.
Yeah, the government's paying for it.
It wasn't a long lasting system, which is why like Trump won on the platform of like Obamacare sucks.
Damn, it's such a
Dude,
brutal
I think he won on the
society.
platform of I'm a very, very funny man.
Yeah.
No, he won on the platform of
Drain the
I
swamp.
represent Pepe the Frog. Me.
Yeah.
Drain the swamp, man. That worked.
When did
What?
that work? When did that happen?
How did he drain it
No,
at
I'm
all?
not- he didn't drain it, but saying he'd do
Saying he drained
it.
it.
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah, that really spoke to Miss, didn't it?
yeah. yeah.
It's so good that Miss is sitting there like at this electoral system that doesn't affect him at all, just being like, yeah, teach us fat catch a lesson,
Yeah.
going.
Fucking lawyers and shit.
Keep F word.
No, S word as well.
No F. You just said it.
No, I said shit. Drain this swamp right here. Get the intellectuals out. But yeah,
They don't talk like real people.
yeah, that's right. But what were we saying again?
You were probably going to say the F word.
Probably.
You're saying
No, I do
Flims.
very much like this. This American political historian that I'm looking at a lot now. He has said that elections boil down to, and I thought I can't believe I've never even thought about this before, because you always think that it's about, oh, this guy ran a good campaign or this guy ran a bad campaign. He's like,
Vibe.
no, dude, they're just referendums on the current government. That's what's happening.
That's
there.
what it should be. No, that's
which
what it
is-
should be.
is.
But it's not.
No, it's the perception in the media class, because they
Yeah.
don't like they're idiots essentially that just sit there like with the same talking points over and over again.
Yes.
They talk themselves into a stupor. I swear, it's
Yeah.
honestly astonishing,
But that's-
because I've been
that-
watching so much CNN and MSNBC.
Is
It's
it-
just the same talking point
Yeah.
from day to day.
Is the advantage of incumbency a myth or is it reality?
No, it's an absolute reality. It is an absolute
So
reality.
that if Joe Biden goes, you lose that automatically.
You lose that.
Could Kamala Harris have the advantage of incumbency because she was the vice president?
If she gets the blessing of it, she gets some of the shine of it, but doesn't
Yeah.
get the advantage of incumbency.
It'd be nice if people actually just looked at policies. There shouldn't even be, like the one thing I do is that you look at Biden's, what he's done, and it's like, it is fucking impressive. It's
Hey,
really
dude, stop
impressive.
it.
Oh, I did it again. Sorry, my bad. It's so hard not to sweat.
We have a
so
problem.
hard. It's downright impressive. You know, if you look at his actual track record, it's just that people. It should just be two robots. You know, because then you're not going to look at the
Well,
robot.
there's one robot.
You're going to look past the robot, the policies. No one really cares. They're not interested. You know, in the policies.
yeah.
Mislav, man of reason. Let's talk about substance, everyone.
Yeah. Let's talk about substance.
Two
Freaking
robots fight each other.
and maybe they can have a fight. Maybe if the time calls.
All
for
right,
it.
is that it, or do we move on to the next
What does
segment?
everyone think? What's their
I can go
counter-argument?
through some of the Twitch thing. We shouldn't have people representing parties, just policies.
What?
Well, that's an opinion.
I mean, that's-
Okay, well, thank you for that.
Did anyone see Chat GPT candidate in UK election? They're talking about robot candidates. now.
No.
Twitch is a funny place. They are both too old. That's what they're saying.
Hot take.
Mm-hmm.
Just
Don't think anyone said that enough yet.
negated.
Oh, someone
everything
said,
we said.
"Oh, what about the Michigan protest votes against Biden?" That's actually a really good question. That's going to be an issue for Biden,
Yeah.
no doubt. But in the grand scheme of things, the Muslim vote isn't that big.
Yeah, and also, what about the fact that everyone that isn't voting for Trump is a protest vote?
Everyone that isn't
100% of
voting.
them are, and they're sitting there saying, "Oh, there was like a bit of a backlash in Michigan for Biden."
Wait, what,
It's
are,
not
what,
the
what are you
same.
saying? You're saying that like people that don't want Trump are just going to vote for Biden?
Well, this is the other thing that I think is working in his favor. There's two things that you can do in an election every time, right? You can either inspire people to get to the voting booth, which they never will because everyone's just a cynical asshole. It's just like, hey, this doesn't directly affect me, so you're probably
Fair.
scamming me somehow. Fuck you. That's how people think.
That's a concerned citizen. That's what that is. Yeah. Concern for
A
themselves.
sovereign citizen.
Sovereign citizen. That's what I was looking for. That's a sovereign citizen. Yeah, yeah. Yeah.
And then the other one is just you scare the shit out of them.
Yes.
And that's how you get people to go. And so I would much rather be in Biden's position, where everybody that is voting for him
Well, if you're
is
in
a
Biden's
protest
position-
vote against Trump.
If you're in
yeah.
Biden's position, let's just be real. You're not staying in that position for very long.
Dude, I reckon
Another
it would
old
be
joke.
pretty funny if he lived to like 110.
Wouldn't that be great?
And he's just fine.
I could have had 16 terms.
Jon Stewart's opinion, if that matters, is that they should have a new Democratic
He's
candidate.
old.
He's saying Trump sucks, but Joe Biden is also just a walking corpse.
Wow.
And he's
well,
also
that's a
saying-
great insight
And
from the comedic mind. He's really stretching. I'm so glad he's back.
He also said that 5 months or 4 months, however long it is a long time. He said France has had 2 elections in the last month. UK's had 1. You saying that we can't do it in 4 months? Come on, Jack, pull up your socks.
Yeah. Yeah. Fix your system, America. Be
But
more like.
I don't think there's any way that Joe Biden is going to step down.
It's
I don't
too
think
late.
people-
And nor
that-
should he, honestly, because look, yes, the entire media pundit class is saying step down. I don't know why, because one of them said it, and then like the lemmings that they are, they all started gaggling it, right? But you
But they're
go and
always
look
wrong too.
They're
Like when are
always
they
wrong.
right?
That's true.
every
yeah.
time. But also, who are the people that actually door knock? Who are the people that campaign? It's always black churches and unions, and they love Joe Biden. Both.
But
of
wait
them.
a sec. Trump's
What are
always
you
like the
basing this
unions.
assessment on?
What am I basing it on?
Yeah.
MSNBC.
Yeah, okay.
No, but you know what? I actually do like Morning Joe. I'm a fan. I think he actually does give out good, insightful points that aren't just the usual.
Is he the WOG guy? No.
Who's the WOG guy?
Remember there was one we both like?
Talking about Aristos's cooking.
There's a guy that's kind of like, Beyonce said it, and Beyonce smart. And that's the news. Some guy.
He's a Jew.
Oh, well, okay. So what?
Yeah. The WOG. Yes,
Oh,
that
well,
one.
whatever.
Yeah.
It's
the
all,
Greek guy.
I can't fucking, I can't tell the fucking difference. Dude, I'm like staring at him being like, no, definitely a Jew. Impossible to be Greek. Literally an impossibility. They're not on the same planet or anything, those two races.
Move away from this conversation.
Yeah,
please.
fucking Jews. No,
And you also, by the way,
And now swearing on top of it.
I did it to
Thanks,
double.
Nick.
I had to.
and you dropped the F-bomb twice while you were explaining
I'm
the
just
difference between Greeks for some reason.
Did I? Oh,
Yes.
God. I have a problem.
but so they're
one of these
joining,
two
it's
can be
all
on the
good.
pod next time. I can just get off this pod if you want.
Look, okay, let's change the segment because we'll see. This is a developing story, as you can imagine. There's 5 more months of this riveting segment to come, so we'll leave some for next week. Okay, how about this? Okay, this is no one's allowed to laugh at this, okay? A woman who donated her husband's body to science is very upset when she found out that her husband was blown up by the military.
What?
So
I thought that'd get a laugh out of him.
Well, wait,
What's not hilarious about that?
Yeah, it's pretty funny.
Yeah,
so,
sick.
Okay,
Yeah.
so her husband,
I'm just more
who
curious how
died
they
of
hid that.
cancer,
Yeah.
wanted to donate his organs.
And the military
And then-
lied.
No, wait 1 second. He wanted to donate his organs. When he died, apparently his organs, because he also died from like alcohol poisoning or whatever, like he drank a lot of his organs weren't good
That's a
to
lot.
be given to anyone. So the hospital said, would you like to donate the body for science? And the wife said, you know what? He wanted to donate his organs. That seems like something that would be good. Maybe students can learn from the body and maybe we'll fix some diseases of the future. So she gives the body and donates it for that reason. The body gets sold to the U.S. military. And let me tell you what happens to it. So,
What? What do they want? Was he in the military? Why do they want it?
okay.
Just trying to fill the hole that Mythbusters left.
What?
He's just
Okay.
blowing shit up and just be
Wait.
like, yeah, if you throw a torpedo at a jeep, it explodes.
You're not allowed to
Yes.
laugh. Okay, so this was the official description. The wife says, they told me specifically that my husband has been used as a crash test dummy in a simulated Humvee explosion.
Oh my God.
So I guess they wanted to know what happens to a body when like
Dude, the
Humvee
military,
explodes.
they're just bored, aren't they?
How could you not know? Don't you have enough examples from Iraq?
Yeah, so now
how are you still testing this?
Yeah, dude, they're just bored.
So do you think
I could have told them that for free. It'll explode.
Do you think that's fair? They should be able to do that if you've donated to science. She's donated the body for national security or whatever.
Yeah,
you know?
I guess it's fair if his organs are useless. It's a kind of a fun way to go, but it's like,
No, that's not the point.
It's a useless
the
experiment.
objective wasn't let's have fun with his body.
What
think it
was the
was,
objective?
though.
I think it was.
What are we
No,
learning?
For the military it was, but not for the wife.
Not for the wife, but she had too bad. You donated it. So they can do
But
it.
that
their own.
doesn't
so now
mean you
needs
can
to be
donate
any
it to.
experiment you
What's
like.
next, Mr. Beast? Whoever can stay with this body the longest while it's decomposing
That would be
wins
as-
a brand new coffin when they die.
Yeah.
Our friend, our mutual friend, Russell Brand.
Oh yeah.
For those who don't know, that's our code word for a guy that we talk about up late a lot that we probably shouldn't be
Not
talking
a
about
lot.
here because sometimes he watches.
Yeah.
The point is,
He's probably watching.
anyway, it's a good story about him. You know how he wants to die, I love it. It's so good.
Yeah, I
He
love
wants-
this.
He wants to be stripped down naked, shot out of a cannon, and then play, I'm on the highway.
No. But specifically shot out in the pick slide.
Oh, which one?
He specifically wants to be shot out at the pick slide. Then shot out.
What's a pig slide?
You know what a pick slide is? It's when you get your pick like this, hold it to the side, and go on the strings. You've heard it a million times. You just didn't know it. Yeah. Sorry.
Yeah,
Details.
Also, being thrown into space was what Johnny Depp literally did for his best friend who died.
Yeah,
Whose
Hunter.
wish was that?
Hunter
To be
Thompson.
thrown into space with a torpedo naked, and Johnny Depp, because he is Johnny Depp, actually did it.
Yeah.
He launched his body into space.
Yeah, Hunter S. Thompson.
Look,
But
man,
yeah.
now that I think about it, look, getting blown up in a Jeep, that's
It's
mad.
pretty good. But we
Yeah,
gotta
it's sick.
we,
Like,
we,
why is she sad?
we have to pay that. Being shot out of a cannon in Highway to Hell and landing with fireworks and landing on some poor old woman probably. Just being like, get it off, get it off. It's insane. He actually wants to do that. It's just so
I
ridiculous.
don't think they should be. No, look,
I'm glad that he's from a rich family because he could afford to do it.
I mean,
And he's got no kids. What else is he got to do with his body?
Okay, after she found out about the Humvee thing, she says, "I was devastated. I would have never done it if I had known. I just kept telling him I was sorry."
Oh, no.
what? He's gone, lady. He's gone. No good saying sorry now. That's look. That is look. I'd be upset as well. The most shocking part of that story is like, well, that is not an experiment. It literally is MythBusters. It's like let's just get loaded and have fun. That's what it
Yeah.
is. It's like
Yeah.
let's just have a bit of a party. Let's have a frat party.
Yeah.
They don't
I'm
need-
amazed that does qualify as science.
That's not. It's not.
But then again, you know, like the Discovery Channel has a lot of shit on it these days.
Yeah,
maybe
yeah.
it's just,
Science.
maybe we've just learned everything.
But you know, like
So
for,
disrespectful to slam him into a Jeep. Slam him into a Jeep.
for those of you that think like just because a body goes into a hospital for research doesn't mean it doesn't mean that it doesn't get abused. I have been to a medical hospital where first year medical students, I'm not kidding. Okay, this happened in Pakistan. Okay, fine. First year medical students smoking cigarettes in their dorm are using what looks like a plastic ceramic skull, half of a skull.
No.
They're using it in an ashtray. And I said, this looks remarkably real. And they said it is. And I was like, I asked, where did
Like
you
they're
get
a
this skull
victorious
from?
king taking
And
their... Yeah, go.
That
This is what
is
they
mental.
responded. Probably some homeless guy.
Oh,
It's
That's-
a homeless man's
that's-
skull.
is it?
And
Is
you
it?
know what's amazing as well? They don't know.
They don't know.
They don't even know.
Is
It's
that
just an
supremely?
ashtray.
Is that supremely disrespectful, or is it like, yeah, at least it's being utilized? I can't. Would you want your head to be used as an ashtray?
Probably not an ashtray.
Yeah. That's too much.
Also,
Appreciate if it was like in an art installation or at the top of a Christmas tree or something.
I'd prefer ashtray over being blown up in a Humvee.
Yeah,
test.
me too.
'Cause that's
yeah,
like,
I know you would, Arlo.
Yeah,
You'd
because
love
that's
that.
like literally sounds like a MythBuster. You gave your body to MythBusters.
Yeah, it is
I think
literally.
it's way more disrespectful just a bunch of Pakistani
Ashtray.
doctors. And then you being like, who is this? And you're like, I don't know.
Yeah, in your head. Your
Your
phone
head.
used to hold all your thoughts and dreams. Now it holds
That's just
like
ash.
low quality low quality
Yeah, you
cigarettes.
recognize this.
I recognize
Because
that.
I'm surprised you didn't fight me. I said shit. I didn't even
No,
say
I'm
it.
off. I will not be on this pod
Yeah,
next
right. Every
week.
time you swear from now on, we're donating another part of your body to science.
Let's do
fair,
it.
fair.
Yeah, you have to then register.
But
So
no
you've
one's
lost
getting
your-
these organs. They get being buried with me. Joking.
Did you put that on your ID?
I don't think. No, I think I did donate them. Did you donate yours?
Yeah, but I did have that feeling of, what if I'm not actually dead?
You know what? I did something really weird.
Wait, what do you mean?
I picked it.
You think that they take your organs while you're still alive?
No,
Like,
no,
hey, I'm not
yeah,
dead.
yeah.
I had that is my biggest fear. Remember all those stories from the 19th century of
Yeah.
people, and they dig up the coffin years
they're not
later and there's
dead.
scratch marks on it.
Yeah. They're like, you don't die, and yeah. I did something really weird. I think I picked and chose my organs. I was like, yes to the spleen, no to the kidney. I think I did one of those kind of things.
Why?
I don't know. I think I was just like, just hold on to some. I don't know. You never know.
Can't give everything.
Yeah. You can't lose your heart, if you catch my drift. I don't know
That's
why.
not bad. That's pretty poetic if it's the heart. But your kidneys, I don't know why
I don't know. It
attached
was-
to the filtration system.
It was a weird.
I wanted to do it when I was 19, and my mum disallowed me.
What?
She was like,
Don't give them away.
"Yeah." She's like, "Yes, don't give them away." I
Is
was
that
like,
the-
"But
is
Mum,
that-
it's gonna help
Is
others."
that because of the big man upstairs?
It is, in fact. You have
Yes.
pointed it correctly. The big man does not like helping others. According
Yeah,
to my
right.
mom.
The big man
He says
shall
you
not.
need
Only
to
when
take
you're alive.
all of your organs into your grave so
To
that
make
they can
shawarma
work.
in the next life.
Yeah, I guess so.
Dude, their system's better than ours. It's just like, you have to tithe 10% of your income your entire life. That is better than us at the end being like, I'm not giving shit to charity. Or maybe that guy with the koala, I'll chuck in 10
Wait. 10%, like, it's for charity.
Isn't
No,
it?
not 10%, 2%.
For charity.
2%. 2%.
But 2% of your wealth.
Into
All of
charity.
into charity.
You sure you're not
Every
thinking
year,
of super,
every year.
dude?
Yeah, I might be thinking of super.
Yeah.
But that's cool that they've got
No, that
like,
is cool.
you
But
know,
not 2% of
Muhammad
your
super.
income, 2% of your wealth at any given point.
Oh.
Every year, you have to calculate how much
That's
wealth
pretty
you have,
good.
including all of your properties, blah, 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 if you have any.
It's because you guys don't drink. You save all that money.
Anyways, it doesn't matter. But like the point is, and when I said to my mom, what is God going to do with my organs? My body is going to be rotting. And she said, well, you'd look weird in heaven without kidneys.
Yeah. Again, the kids.
She's got a good point.
Yeah.
This love won't.
I'm gonna-
Nice and pumped up with his nice and
I'll
kidneys.
have a couple of organs.
Yeah, you'll
I'll
have
have
a
like heart, one kidney. I don't know. The thing you poop out of, maybe. I'm just
Yeah,
like,
you
keep
poop
that.
out. What's the really useless organ that doesn't need to be there at all?
Penis.
Spleen?
Is it the spleen?
Appendix.
What does the appendix
Or
do?
gallbladder
They
too,
don't
right?
know.
No one
Gallbladder.
knows.
Yeah, they don't know. It's a mystery.
Isn't that so weird about the human body? Apparently, there's also some tube that just goes nowhere.
No,
Are you serious?
it's
Yeah,
like
it's
these are
It's just
all
there.
Jesus.
these are all evolutionary traits because we also have a tailbone.
Yeah, but no, that makes sense.
Yeah, but like no, all of these like appendix or whatever probably had some use at some point.
Right.
Yeah, but what was it then, genius?
I don't know.
Well, then
Maybe
shut up.
processing rocks.
Huh?
Processing rocks.
Processing rock.
Yeah, we used
They
to
were
eat
all
more rocks.
geologists in ancient times.
We used to eat bloody all kinds of stuff. You know,
Not rocks. I feel like
Not rocks,
even
but
the
you know-
early man realized that I can't eat that mountain.
says you. Well, no, not rocks, but
You
you
reckon
know.
it had something? Because like, I don't know. It just seems to get in the way.
It was
seems its
processing
purpose
something.
is to get inflamed in some kids.
Yeah, I think it was
Yeah,
to
yeah,
process something. That's my 2 cents. Like, you know, our jaws are getting smaller as
Dude,
well
I think
because
that it's kind of just a thing of the body sometimes goes good enough and keeps going. We'll think of something later for it.
yeah, so it just sits there.
Just sits there. I think
That
that's
is
the
weird.
reason.
Yeah, that is weird. I don't know. I really don't know.
Yeah, I don't know anything about the human body either.
It's not fair. Tell
That
us.
you don't know. I think it's fair that you don't know because if you knew, it would be very difficult for others.
Anyway, the point is, I'm
You like my
disappointed
organ
Not
policy?
only about the mop thing. I like the
Yeah, the
policy
mop.
to choosing like it's a la carte menu.
Yeah,
That's
yeah.
cool. But also very disappointed that you weren't laughing at a dead man being exploded.
No,
with
no.
jet, but that's fine.
Did you know it was coming?
Yeah, dude, he told me and we were laughing heaps. And then you heard it and you were like, that poor man. And I was like,
Yeah.
oh my God, we're fucking awful people.
Hey, F-bomb again.
sorry.
Um, Look, it's funny. It's just like if you're gonna blow him up, like do it in it could have been a funnier way. Like they could have like shot him out of a cannon, much like our
But
friend.
I don't think he wanted any of this. He never said.
I don't
shot
think
me.
I donate my body to comedy. I don't.
Yeah.
You would do that.
I'll donate my body
You
to
fucking
comedy.
would.
But really, do you care
damn,
once
I
you're
said it
gone?
too.
Once you're gone, you're gone. Like, yeah, you know.
But what if you're not? You don't know what happens after that.
Yeah, it's true. I
We
mean,
did do that
What if we-
extremely controversial podcast that no one liked about it.
What was it? What me?
You seem to like it a lot of the time.
What did I
and
say?
you
That
forgot it
death
entirely.
doesn't exist or something? Is that
I
my
was
take?
saying that.
And I was saying, what was I saying?
And then you were saying like, where? Well, that is the most proven thing you've ever said. That was like very well researched.
So life exists after death, and everyone was like, unbelievable.
Yeah. Everyone was pissed.
Oh, it's so boring. Go back to your bloody stats about seats in Parliament if you're not interested in that. Join us on the off late. Things get a little crazy.
All right, so shall we move on to the next one? This one's going to be a quick one.
And we're not going to talk about the English election.
Let's do it after this because this will take
All
like
right,
2
fair
minutes.
enough. Go on.
Justin Timberlake opens a sports bar in Scotland, which is normally fine. But the problem is he
What
just
are
got
these
arrested.
segments? what is that?
Who cares?
Like, what? It's the most inconsequential set on earth. Okay.
Hey, he just got arrested for
That's more interesting.
yeah, but for drinking and
even
driving.
then, kind of
Am I right?
just
Was it drink
mildly, don't
driving?
you think?
Yeah, drink driving. and
Okay,
then,
why
like,
Scotland?
I don't know. He opened it with
A Scottish
Tiger
man.
Woods.
With Tiger Woods.
Yeah, Tiger
All right, it's
Woods
getting
and
it's getting
Justin
more
Timberlake.
interesting. Tiger Woods and Justin Timberlake. What are they
Why are
thinking?
they friends?
Why are they
Why are they
mates?
working
Yeah, that's weird because they've been cast out from
I
society. Now
think
they're
they
coming
both are
together.
sex addicts. I think that's what it
They're
is.
like having sex. Well, I'm sure that their Scottish pub will do well, or it won't.
But the
I guess
point
that's
was
business.
that he opened
Anyway,
the
let's
pub.
talk about the election.
No, go on. What do you?
He
What's
opened
your
the
take?
pub right after being
The
arrested
drinking
for
thing.
drinking and
Yeah.
driving.
Is it called like no pullover Joes? And there's a photo of him, like his face with the eyes going like. Zzz.
The bar is called.
Like
the bar converts a town cinema into a sports bar called T Squared Social.
well, that's not a good name.
Yeah, that sucks.
Should have called it N thirded or something. N sync, but like whatever. Something I play on N sync.
fine.
What about N sunk?
Amazing.
That's a good one. I
N
reckon
sunk. That's
it.
actually
Yeah,
because you sing
N-Sunk's
because you
way
sing.
better than T. Yeah.
Dude,
Yeah.
that's incredible. N
All right, fine,
sunk.
talk about your
Sunk.
UK election.
No. I'm back on. N sunk is genius, dude.
Yeah. Thank you, Miss.
Well, I
think
want to
that's
go
a
to
good
that. I would love to go to there now and have a drink. You know, at N
If it
sunk.
was called N sunk.
Yeah, which is not.
But now it's called T squared. Yeah, I'd look at T squared and think,
Nah, that's not good. It's
yeah,
not good. It's not good.
be into it.
Well, he's very silly, and I hope you know.
Do you want to talk about this? Apparently, Mr. Beast wants to become the president, and he's appealed to lower the age limit in the Constitution
Yeah.
so he can run.
Yeah, what is the age limit?
35, I think.
How old is he?
26.
Yeah.
I believe.
Yeah, let's not change. I don't think they should change their like constitution for Mr. Beast. I think he has enough influence in that country. But I would be interesting to see him run. Is he an idiot or not?
Yes, he's an idiot.
Okay.
He doesn't know anything except the YouTube algorithm.
Oh, that's all he knows.
Remember when someone asked him, "Do you know what Seinfeld is?" and he didn't know?
Yeah, he's like, apparently he doesn't know anything
Oh,
except
he's-
for the YouTube algorithm.
Oh God.
He didn't know like real basic stuff because he is a bit, he's an artist.
Yeah,
With
I
a
honestly
U.
think
Yeah,
he
yeah.
just learned what the
With the
president
U,
is,
did you
like,
say
a couple
artist with
weeks
the
ago.
Yeah, he's an artist with a U.
Yeah.
I don't
Yeah. We don't get. We've already been banned. We don't get double banned.
like. So I don't think he's cut out to be the president.
No. I thought he. Okay, I
I
assumed.
prefer Joe Biden over Mr. Beast for sure.
I assumed because he's so rich, he's really smart. But obviously he's not.
He
so
is
thanks
really
to
He
smart.
is.
I mean,
No,
well,
but-
let's put it. He's
Uh,
an artist. Let's put it that way.
yeah, let's not lower the age. I think that would, upon learning this new information, I don't think he should run for president. Agreed?
Man, Jeez, like,
Not.
can
a
you
good
imagine?
idea.
It's the same thing that we were talking about before, where it's like, isn't it amazing that idiocracy would be
Yeah.
a utopia in comparison to where it's going?
It's
You're having Mr. Beast being like, "What's a president?" So like they're important. Yeah, that's good content. Like, whoa, dude, this
that's
is like
good
this
content.
is really cheapening The Office.
yeah, can't get any cheaper than that. What happened to Kanye 2024? He's running out of time.
Well, he
I
got.
think he's canvassing his options.
if you think pro
Wouldn't it be
Palestine,
amazing? Wouldn't it be amazing if he went to the Israel lobby and appealed for funds?
And they give him the funds. Like, we're due for a change.
you know what would actually they would give him the funds if he just says, "I hate the Palestinians more than I hate you guys," and he would just get all the funds
Each
that
one
he
of
wants.
us.
Yeah, then he probably would. Yeah, but well, look out for Kanye also running.
Okay,
Keep
all right,
an eye on that.
Let's talk about the British elections.
Yay!
So what do you?
Are you happy, chappy?
Yeah, are you happy?
I'm a
Chappie?
happy boy.
Yeah, and you too.
I'm a
Ancha.
very happy boy.
Yeah, I'm all right.
It was great because it was like the sensible government got in, and then the mean government came in swinging.
So how did they go? How did Reform go?
Reform did amazing?
You're
No,
kidding.
but come on, not as well as people expected.
You know how many votes they got at the end?
Do you know how many seats they got at the end?
Yeah, I don't know either. Tell me both.
Well, as always, just like adding credence to my predictions of Biden getting in, I predicted that the Reform Party would be the opposition party.
No, not the opposition.
They are.
Do you think they'd be the party?
I thought they were getting in.
Yeah.
Yeah, I thought they were going to
So
be.
what
I thought
happened?
Nigel Farage was going to be Prime Minister. Deeply disappointed he didn't make the numbers.
So
Well,
what
you
happened?
you didn't think that, but you did think that they will be the opposition.
I thought they were going to be the opposition.
And they're not?
And it's just like, who'd have thought? It's just like, maybe I shouldn't be commenting on electoral systems I know nothing about.
So what happened?
Huh?
Quit
No,
holding
he's not
back.
the opposition
He
leader.
got not that fewer votes than the Conservative Party,
Wow.
so it was pretty damn
Okay,
close.
okay.
And on top of that, in about 100 seats, he was the second. His candidate was the second in
So
100 seats.
How many seats did he get?
What is this I sense? You like Nigel Farage, you like Marine Le Pen. What are you, some
I
kind
like
of a
Marine Le
Nazi?
Pen because he's hot. She's hot.
Nazi.
And then I like Nigel Farage because, like, dude, come
He-
on.
he's saying that
single-handedly taking one of the most advanced economies out of the EU and then waving little British flags in their annoying little technocrat faces on the way
He's
out.
recognised the issue with immigration, mate. That's what he's realised, mate.
I feel like everyone's recognized that. There is
Yeah.
very, very few parties in Europe that think, nah, open borders is the way to go.
It's probably France now,
But here's
though.
the thing, they don't do anything about it.
Yeah, they don't.
Hey, we forgot to talk about the main segment, which
What?
was Australia's new immigration policy, where they're restricting international students. I guess we'll do that next week.
Do that next week because I want to hear more about England. So how many seats did they get? How did Labor go and how many seats did Reform get?
Labor got like 420 seats.
And how
Yeah,
many?
it's like an overwhelming, thumping majority.
what Reform get?
Reform got
Two.
like 13.
Is that bad?
Well, I think, was it 13 at the end?
And how many did the Conservatives get?
Like 100 and
Oh
something.
fuck! So
And then
Reform
the
is
Lib
not.
Dems, who did not do very well at all in terms of votes. God, it's a weird system.
So Reform
Hey,
is not the Reform is not the official opposition. I'm afraid.
yeah,
Shit.
but in a way,
Really?
because he has so many votes behind him that he's going to shape the Conservative Party anyway.
It's like the Bernie thing.
yeah,
Yeah. Right.
yeah, that's what's going to happen.
Interesting.
Yeah, you're,
Yeah, okay.
you're right. He came second in 98 seats,
Whoa.
but 89 of those were won by Labor eventually.
So
Which is the best of both worlds. Honestly, I really like that. I like Nigel Farage being the opposition because
And
that's
in
just
the
gonna be
end-
endless.
But in the end, he got
right. A bit.
he got 5 seats only.
5.
The result was remarkable enough, though shocking initial exit poll predicted 13 seats for the populist hard right did not in the end come to pass.
Dude,
As the
democracy
final
doesn't
tally
work.
is 5 seats.
That's incredible.
Still
They
represents a
basically
big
got, like,
advance.
1 seat per million votes.
Wow.
He's doing worse than like Indian candidates.
That's correct. Well, I mean, there's a lot
Like,
of
how many,
Indian
like, it was
candidates
amazing
in
when you look at
Labour.
like Indian Parliament, and then it's just like,
Oh, in
and
India.
So who is going to win the 90 seats in this country of 1.7 billion people? It's like what? So it's like 50 mil. Your electorate is like 100 million people or something.
Oh my
like, I don't
God.
get it. It must be so.
That's
Yeah, there's like
insane.
600 seats or something and 1.5 billion people.
It's insane.
Oh, that's
And
crazy.
so I think that Farage is doing those numbers.
Shit.
Yeah, for
He's playing on India mode.
no, but he is getting better. Like he's lost, but like he came second in so many of those seats, which means in future, Look, if you
You
imagine
should be happy about that, Mislov. That means they are going to do something about immigration. Just before there's so many people that the weight sinks the iron.
Just like, well, there goes Brighton. Goodbye summer holidays, eh? Off to Plymouth instead.
if
Quick, take some of the pebbles out of the bin.
if Labour gets
Memories.
discredited, if Labour falls in the same situation as the Conservatives did, there's only one way to go, and that's the reform. Then Nigel Farage could actually win the government. Similar
but that
stuff
is-
has happened in when Greece, Syriza won in Greece. It was because all the other mainstream parties just weren't performing economically, and the country was going down the drain. So a party that was literally nothing ended up forming government. If the Labour Party in the UK isn't able to revive the economy and the economy keeps going down, Nigel
But
Farage
I
will
don't think
probably
it's an
come in.
economic
But
vote. People are voting for Nigel Farage purely because of immigration. Purely. So
Which
if
is-
they fix that, they'll get a second
Which,
term
having
for
said that,
sure.
you know what's the first thing that Sir Keir said when he won?
What?
He said the Rwanda solution is done and dusted.
Yeah. That doesn't mean that they can't do things about
Yeah, but I
immigration.
think that was not a bad idea.
I don't even know. I don't know what that is. That when they just ship people to Rwanda or something?
Yeah.
Um,
like we did with Nauru and stuff.
But this is great for Labor. I mean, they're in. You guys are stoked, right? Labor's in.
Oh, yeah. I'm
This is
happy
like
about it.
crazy, isn't it? This is
And
like
this is the whole thing. Everybody's sitting there and saying, oh, they're not going to do any major reforms. This is what people don't know. And they're just like, oh, it's just a change in management. A change in management does a lot.
Yeah.
A lot.
happy chappy.
Yeah, of course. Tommy over here.
Oh, he's happy with France. He's happy with France.
No, I'm not. Yeah, it's better, but like you've got to perform, dude. I can't just be
Yeah.
happy because Labour is coming in. Labour
It's Labour-
screwed it up when they were in power before.
Labor's
No,
They led a
policies.
No.
14-year government.
Wait,
No,
in
that's not
England?
right.
Yeah,
In England?
when Gordon Brown was in
I
power,
don't-
when Tony Blair was in power.
Oh yeah, he was Labor. Yeah.
They did good.
Yeah,
I don't know.
good
Not
riddance of the British economy.
not good for not good for immigration.
Yeah, okay.
Dude,
It's just so annoying. Every
Defend
fucking
your
line,
pe-
it's just always just like some communist here and someone from the National Front. Just being like,
National Front.
I hate competence in government.
dude, Tony.
Every
Okay,
episode.
well, don't you think Tony Blair
There
has
should
some?
be a distinction. Come
Huh?
on.
What?
It's so annoying, isn't it? It's just like competent or unfettered immigration. It's like, can we not have one of each? It's like, no, you can't.
Well, isn't this amazing? Because this would still piss off Ali massively, but it would suit us, and it does say a lot about where the world is going. I was listening to this analysis from that CIA Indian guy that's on CNN with those weird skull eyeballs that are popping out of his face.
Fareed Zakaria.
Such a scary man. Dude, that guy should have been exploded in a jet.
For this crime of looking weird.
No, the crime of always agreeing with CIA in every situation. That's why you should be blown out. No, he's all right. Don't.
He did make this point, and you would absolutely attest to this, Miss, and I think he's right. He's like, look, all those parties, like the Republicans, like the Conservatives in the UK, like the Liberal Party here, they used to have the moniker right from the Second World War to now of being the sensible party, the
Yeah,
adult
yeah.
party, while Labor was just the ragtag, they
Right,
mean
yeah.
well, but they're ideological, whatever. That was what happened.
Yeah.
That's completely switched. Now the Democrats that are the serious.
It
party.
has switched.
Yeah.
It's completely switched.
And he was just saying, dude, as long as you keep that image and then you just add a little bit of like, we're the adults and also fuck migrants. Like, dude, you're staying
Don't
in
say that.
forever.
We're
That was
just
his
kidding.
analysis.
Those
Yeah,
are
yeah,
two
yeah.
things that you shouldn't have said.
Not together. But yeah.
Okay, answer me this. I know Margaret Thatcher is to blame for a lot of the problems that UK is going through, but don't you think some of that onus is on Tony Blair too?
For what?
For
honestly
deregulating and
don't
just
know.
like putting all of Britain's resources in the banking sector? Come on.
But that was Thatcher mainly,
Like,
right?
okay, when he came out, first off, they managed the global financial crisis, not as well as us, but we were freakishly well. They did a very good job of it. So can you imagine if the Tories were in while that was happening? They're just lucky that they got to deal with the ramifications after that. But on top of that, the public sector had never been better funded. They were in a good economic position when it left. The NHS had more money in it than it had ever in its entire history. There was like This is amazing that people always say this of just like, oh, he deregulated things. And it was like, yeah, but he also lifted, I can't remember the number, but it was a significant amount of people out of poverty. It was a solid Labor government. And then everybody afterwards just goes like, oh, but he privatized things and that reminds me of Margaret Thatcher. So he's just as bad. It's like, dude, I don't know. You agree with this, Ali. Sometimes you should privatize things.
But sometimes also, don't you think that you should like rally your side and be like, hey, now that you're in power, do better?
No. Never. No.
Well, let's see what they do. Maybe they'll do good. I'm glad.
Yeah,
I mean, the Tories
I see that happening.
The Tories have like cooked the place. It's like it's a hellhole.
I see UK being uncooked in the next 5 years.
Well, it's like I'm glad that Labor got in because it's like it's time to change it up. Like they severely cooked the place.
It's incredible, isn't it?
Yeah, and
it's a first world country in name only. That is from 14 years. This is why I'm very glad that we have 3-year terms here because, especially in Australia,
I'm learning.
They're just going to vote for the dumbest things over and over again. But at least we have like 5 chances in the same period that the British.
How long are the British terms? Like
5 years.
Far out.
You can do a lot of damage in 2 terms for that. A
why?
decade.
Why are ours shorter? But part of the Commonwealth is just how.
I don't know why, but I'm glad that we have them.
Yeah.
Yeah, we don't trust us.
Fair enough. Yeah, hopefully. Damn, 5 years. Yeah. Well, he is hoping. I mean, it'll be interesting to see because it's like like they've only got themselves to blame if they don't fix it up. I'd be very curious to see.
It is not easy to fix. Like
I know.
I don't know if you understand.
I mean, can it even
monumental task?
Yeah. Can it even be fixed? An economy that just runs off banking, essentially.
Yeah, no, it's exactly what Ali said. You have to build up some form of manufacturing base. And let's be honest, when everyone's saying like, oh, their policies are light, which no one read. But one of the big ones is exactly what the Labor Party is doing here. It's all about bringing back manufacturing.
Cool.
So they're doing the thing.
Yeah. There you go.
And they're also doing the same thing of building TAFEs. I think that everybody understands that's what
it's such a basic thing. It's like
But this is what I'm saying. I honestly think that generally the world is going in the right direction as long as these institutions are run by people that are remotely sane.
Yeah,
I think it's all set up pretty well.
Yeah, look.
These things, honest, people always go like, oh, it's tweaking around the edges. Good.
Yeah. Well, yeah, fair. Let's see what the world holds in stake for us. That was CNN. Thank you.
Let's see what some people have to say just before we're running over. We're running out of time. Dealish says, in Australia, it doesn't matter who you vote for. The prime minister job role has similar comparison to Hogwarts defense against the dark arts position.
I'm sure you like that point.
Always, great contribution. So glad that we do this every week to educate people.
For our whole lives.
Sir Keir.
So glad that I depend on these people for my existence.
Sir Keir.
It's a hell. I'm trapped in a hell.
Sir Keir
Two people sitting here over and over again being like, yeah, but he hasn't kicked out everyone in the country yet, so he's so.
Yeah, and what's he doing? What fuck you?
And then this guy here every time being like, dude, he's not Lenin. Don't you understand? He's not Lenin.
Hey, it's your fault for picking the two sides of your brain to be on the pod.
It's insane.
And I mean John Lennon.
Yeah, don't blame us. We're your brain. We didn't get picked. Like, we didn't have the choice, you know?
We didn't.
I
like that you're in the color of like, this is your brain. Right.
You know they're taking our jobs, Jordan.
Yeah, hoodies available at friendlyjordies.com.
Oh yeah, available at friendlyjordies. Very
Make sure that
comfortable.
You sign up to the podcast because we do an
All
additional
right,
podcast.
okay, fine. I won't read it.
Yeah, I think they've
read.
had this say.
That was one comment.
You might appreciate this one. Keir Starmer comes into office. First week, England get into Euros semis. Lewis Hamilton wins British GP Grand Prix. I guess he's doing a proper job.
Hell yeah!
No roast for this. You're like, yeah, that's right.
Yeah, exactly. Now that's an educated answer.
Yeah. Inconsequential coincidences. Now there's a leader.
There's a smart man.
Thank you.
Be more like him. TikTok.
Thank you, everyone, for joining us for this week. We appreciate your viewership.
Thanks, Twitch, and thanks, TikTok.
Thank you, TikTok, as well.
First time.
TikTok. For those of you watching, hope to see you again.
If we're not banned, we'll
next
be
week.
back.
We're going to up your production value TikTok live because it seems like you just have one camera, but we're happy to see you and we'll see you again next week. And
Toodaloo.
Thanks for having
Bye-bye.
us. Ciao, ciao.